sure to get your playmat today at tsx1.com.
So, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team Sam Ranks here. Happy, yo Steve, what day is it?
Saturday!
No, whoa, Saturday, you sure?
Trust me.
Bro,
Chill out, whoa, why are you so hyped, man?
bro, you have no idea how happy I am about this deck. At first, I read these cards, I thought they sucked. I'll be honest, I did.
Okay.
I read them.
He was a good man. What a rotten way to die.
That's how excited I am, baby, let's go! The Remy cards blew my mind. They don't seem like they're a lot because they're all different levels. They seem like they're not good by themselves, but together, and with the solid extra deck, the deck puts up 6 negates every time.
Six negates. I guaranteed. Any hand.
How many negates does Dragon Link put up? Hold on. 3.
Are you serious? What?
3.
What's the negate they have?
Seal and Savage and a Chamber Dragon Maid. 2.5.
That's it? Tidying?
Tidying. What, bro? Tidying? How about... You ready for a surprise?
What?
How about Zephyr Divine Strike?
Whoa.
Back with 5 negates, baby.
Okay.
How's that sound, baby? How's I'm not playing sound? That's it. So that's what the Remy Cords are. The Remy Cord is literally better than Endymion. And since Endymion is the best deck now, I don't care what anyone says, Endymion's better than Dragon Link going first, better going second, better versus hand traps, except Droll, but your opponent will never open Droll if you ask them not to. And this deck is better than that. I want to give a big shout out right now.
What's up?
Not to my channel, but something that I hold so dear to my heart. I value this more than Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Every single day on my stream at 8 a.m., I'm posting a live community Yu-Gi-Oh! Workout.
Amazing.
It's my absolute mission on earth to make Yu-Gi-Oh! Players care about fitness and not be fat slobs and maybe take a shower at YCS. Okay, so first and foremost, the Remy Cord Kuteya. This is the best card of the deck, and there's multiple ways to get this card out of your deck. You don't just have to hard search it. I'll explain later. Next, Fancia. Both of these are your starters. This is just as good of a starter as Kuteya, because Kuteya, this sends from deck to extra deck, this adds from deck to hand. You're pendulum summoning that exact card that you add. It's a the Remy Cord is the easiest pendulum deck to learn, just by the way it is. Next are your 6 cards you want to pendulum summon. Gracia and Angelea. You always want to pendulum summon one of this and one of this. That's your main goal. Wow. That's your absolute main goal. Something that Endymion and other pendulum decks don't have right now is a follow-up. So your goal is to set up 5 plus negates and then search your Kuteya for next turn. Before you even think of putting up negates. Follow-up is the most important. This is the equivalent of playing dinos and having a big board of like Conductor and, I don't know, you know the deck, Sam puts up 0.5 negates.
Right.
But it's very important to have the Misk in your grave or your Oviraptor in hand. That's why pendulums, people think they suck. This deck always searches it. So Gracia ensures of that, plus giving you more fodder on field. And this special is your boss.
Nice.
People don't understand how good this card is. No one plays this in any list. I saw they play maybe 1, which is crazy because it's the best one out of all of them. Without this, I would not play this deck. It's that good. Why? Because it'll summon out this card for free. What this card says, you cannot pendulum summon this unless you open your field spell, which is very rare because you're only playing 1 of it. It kind of sucks. But this is level 8. You're not pendulum summoning this. This, however, if you could take one thing from this video, this is it. This is level 6. You could pendulum summon Angelea anytime.
Right.
Angelea's effect. It has scale 3. Its effect is special summon a monster from your deck, the Remy Cord from your deck, with scale lower or higher than 2 from this card. So this card, you tribute this to special this. And then if you hard drew this specials this. Next is these 3, this is your extender. The reason Lakshma didn't come back was because this card was printed. This card is a free extender. No archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pendulum archetype has a built-in extender searcher. None of them. They're all generic, like Foolish Burial, Darkworm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This one, when you play Remy Cord, is searchable by half your deck, literally. And when you have 1 Remy Cord in scale, you pendulum summon this. This extends your plays a lot. 1 Butea and 1 Elitea. So these cards suck the most, but there's a reason why you play 1 of each of them. Every deck has something. Why do you play Phalanx in when you used to play it in Dragon Link? Because of its name. That's why you play these, because of their scales. You want different names in your deck. What's the point of them? They don't do anything. But when you put 2 and 2 together, play test in the lab for like 80 hours, which I have. I don't even think I changed for the last 4 days. And that's okay. This card is like a Walmart version of Zodiac Dragon. It essentially pops 1 on your point, activates a monster effect. I would play 2 if I had, but I only have 1. Play 2 if you had 2, just in case you hard draw 1. It's a 60 card deck. because all gas, no brakes, baby. That's how we play it. And then as far as decks that put up big boards, I can't stress enough. This is the best deck that I've ever seen going second. Can you imagine a deck that doesn't care about torrential? I'll do you a favor. Thank you for showing me your torrential. Set that down right now, because you're never gonna activate it again. And it's just that simple. And then the high scales have the effect where your pendulum summon of a Solfachord cannot be negated. And you guys have tested this deck, and I'm sure a lot of you have. It's a really fun deck, and I know a lot of you guys are like into these type of cards, you know? But if you're into 2D girls, you're into 2D girls. It's up to you. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, of course.
Life's up to you, bro. Do whatever you want. Next, you need to add some more umph, some like energy, some like meat.
Right. Some
And
what?
Some meat, bro. Pack on some negates, man. All these deck does is they get a lot of plus and link them away. Well, why don't you back that up with some negates? Since you're playing a big 60 card deck, you're playing so many ways into your Zephyr negate, and they all do the same thing. You could play with their level. Musa Seiya can add freely when it comes out in a month. And because of their scale and levels, Zephyr could be anything, because you could also send this one. Oh, can you see this clearly?
Of course, of course.
So because it's 1 or 7, Zephyr could play freely, and it just gives you so much ability to summon whatever you want. Having it out to Dark Ruler is so important for a Pendulum deck. If you don't have access to Dark Ruler consistently for a Pendulum deck, you're just the same thing as Dragon Link. You're trash. This is what makes this deck amazing. Performer Pal, Pendulum, Sorcerer.
Okay, so what is this search?
This card is a tuner. Did you know that? Did you see what tuner here? It's a tuner, baby! Because it pops a card, adds this card. Scale this card. Turn Sorcerer into a tuner.
Right.
Can everyone please tell me right now, what is probably the most broken link in the game after Celine?
Oh, I know. Yes.
Yeah, baby! Very vital. And you play 2 of these. 1, because this searches anything at the end phase. I'm all about the follow-up, so this is very good to open as well. Pendulum summon this, you get a free Kuteya for the next turn. Sign me up. And this turns this into a tuner. That is massive. Duelist Alliance. So Duelist Alliance searches the Pen Sorcerer, and you're not playing Duelist Alliance for Pen Call. You're not playing Magicians. That's it for the monsters. You're not playing any more monsters. The only monsters you're playing are plus cards. Sorcerer is a plus. All the 15 Zephyrs I showed you are a plus. Remember the first 15 the Remy cards I showed you? Yes. They're all plus. This is the only reason we're playing 60 cards. That is Red Eyes Fusion.
Oh, wow. Damn.
This is mandatory. When I tell you 6 negates every turn, you might be thinking, Trip, bro, you're gonna draw the Dark Magician. You're playing 60 cards. You're playing 60 cards for a reason. Pendulum is the only deck in Yu-Gi-Oh!, aside from maybe like Chaos Thunder, that could play 60 like it's nothing. Now, as far as hand traps goes, grow a pair. You don't need them. The only hand trap I play is Effect Veiler. The reason why?
Here's why.
Because we have a lot of access to needle fiber via a few other ways I'm going to show you. We have like maybe 15 ways to needle fiber. And so going second now, needle fiber effect. After you clear everything, you pendulum summon, you do some nightmare unicorn, blah, 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 blah. Your opponent thinks it's all over, but you're left with 1 monster and 1 tuner. Needle fiber effect, special Veiler, Celine, special Veiler, access code, GG. So you need to play just the 1. And if you open it, it probably stops this half-ass deck, whole meta. Veiler and Alistair, all right, my turn. This card is insane. Next, more spell cards. So you're playing 60 cards, and it's totally fine to do this, okay? The extra deck, you're playing doubles of everything, it's totally fine. Triple Extravagance and triple Prosperity. The reason why you're playing 60 is very simple. There's no draw power in this deck. You don't use this part you don't use the draw effect, ever. Okay? Like this, it doesn't conflict. You just don't use it.
Right.
You only use the second effect. You know, I know it sounds weird, but 60 is the most consistent way to play this, as weird as it sounds. In such a weird way how Yu-Gi-Oh! Evolves, traps are amazing going second. Who would have thought this ever would have been the case? 1 field spell. The reason why you want this, I'll explain in the video. Sometimes when you summon Gracia, you can just link it away to do cool combos with Needle Fiber. You activate this to add back Kuteya, now you have your follow-up for next turn. You play 1 of the trap. There's a reason why. So you want as many, like, what if you don't have your Zephyr cards, man? You want some interruption against Dark Ruler. It's very vital to have some form of interruption that's not just monsters. What's your opponent gonna do? Side red reboot?
Yeah.
You know, like, what's your gonna do when you have 2 trap interruptions? These cards, okay, are getting released in 1 month.
1 month.
And I'm
okay.
so excited for it. So clearly I don't have it because, you know, it's not legal. But Diviner of the Heralds.
Diviner of the Herald.
Oh my god. This card is broken, okay? This card says, if this card is normal or special summon, you can send a fairy from your deck to your grave. So you send this card. Then it's other
Wait, does it send from the extra deck?
deck or extra deck,
Wow.
which is crazy because wanna know what else is a fairy? Elder Entity Nittis.
Wow.
So if you really want to, you could send your out to anti-spell, which is pretty cool. But anyways, so you send Trius. Trius effect, it says tribute up to as many fairies as you want. During that, you contribute up to 3 fairy monsters. So you just tribute 1. And then special summon it. It'll have no effect because you just send one, tribute 1. But the effect of Diviner the Herald says if this card is tributed, special a level 2 or lower fairy from your deck. Can everyone say in unison right now, what is a level 2 or lower fairy in a Doremi deck? I'll give you guys like 3 seconds. That's right, baby, the best card. You literally get the special Kuteya. You play 6 Doremi Kuteyas, and that's 59 cards. And there's one more card left, which is actually very good in this deck. It's Pendulum Treasure. It's not out yet, and I didn't think I'd ever play it because it's a neg 1. But if you're playing Duelist Alliance, you have to keep in mind, if you guys look at the power cards in this deck, okay, you look at this, you look at this, you look at the Zephyra, you look at Pendulum Performer Pal Sorcerer, you look at Kuteya, you're playing 5 like insane power cards, and you're playing like multiples of each. It's like there's like 5 of them, right? Pendulum Treasure cuts in any of the 5 that you don't have. Any of the 5 that you don't open that you need, you just send it with Pendulum Treasure. You are playing the Extravagance, so you're playing 2 Viridian and 2 Dragoon. Even if I banish these 3, I really don't care whatsoever. This is just like an extra engine in the deck, but it's still very good to have. As well, you play Masquerena and 2 of each of these. Fiber Celine Access Code. These are all like cards that work together that I'm trying to pal so you guys are aware. Right now, by the way, I'll just play 55 without the cards that I showed.
Right.
Because this is a deck you can play right now today. The extra deck to do the combos with is Formula Synchron, which you summon off Needle Fiber. Typically, you're gonna end on this as well in your combo. You can't go Savage Dragon, unfortunately. You have no links in the graveyard. So typically you have these 2, and these 2 together, after you get a negate off this, they'll synchro into, unfortunately I don't have it, sorry about that guys, but it's Satellite Warrior. This is the only proxy in this deck. The proxy I showed you didn't come out yet. Also, you play Dragster because Gracia is a level 5, so Formula and the 5, because the 5 is useless. You just go into Dragster, so you get another negate. And Desert Locust is insane as well.
Hand Rip, yeah.
Hand Rip, and you still synchro. So that's it for the deck. The deck's actually amazing.
Let's go over the combo.
Let's go over the combo, and it'll blow your mind even more when you see 6 negates with the Remic Word.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. Good man, I'm like fucking 2 years old. My voice cracked. We're gonna wanna normal summon our Kuteya. I'm gonna search Angelea. Next, we're gonna activate Solfachord Elegance. You can get rid of any of these 2 that you want. So I'm gonna get rid of Gracia. Doesn't matter, just any of them. And now you're gonna want to scale your Doremi chords. Scale, put this. You not only get free scales from 1 card, but this card you're gonna Pendulum summon. It's literally a huge, was it +1 or +2? Like, it's insane, it's so good. So now we have our free scales set up, and these are the scales you want. Why? Because you want as many different names in for you to have access to via the field spell as possible. So that's why you didn't get another Kuteya. You wanted this in case you need an extender, and you didn't get the level Kulia because you're gonna summon it back anyways. And now we simply Pendulum summon. This is as simple as possible as it can possibly get. Your opponent now, thanks to the effects of these, they cannot Ash, Sork, or this, or anything. You can do it after, but you can't Torrential after.
So even on the Pendulum summon, when you activate their effects, they can't even respond.
Yeah, all my effects resolve.
Wow.
You can't do anything about it.
Wow.
So I know I'm gonna synchro with it, or link with this. So what I'm gonna do with that card is I'm going to search for the follow-up, because it's very important to get a follow-up. I'm going to use this to search for Zephyr Providence, and now I'm gonna have to decide, we have to choose the target first, but with this now I wanna decide what cards I wanna pop. I don't wanna have cards in my scale anymore. I don't wanna have cards that my opponent can destroy. So I'm gonna destroy both of these cards. And in doing so, I'm gonna add 2 cards from my deck. You really only needed 1, but I'm gonna get Celestial for a follow-up, which is an amazing card, and the Tuner. Alright, so now this doesn't look like a lot of interruptions, right? You might be thinking, yo, Trip, how are you gonna get interruptions you said? Well, this is very easily many interruptions. So now that we have all this, let's activate this in scale, and I'm gonna make Formball Pendulum Sorcerer Tuner. I can now link these into Needle Fiber. Now Needle Fiber's effect will resolve, And now Diviner of the Heralds is not legal yet. The combo's cooler with Diviner of the Heralds because I want to mention as well, we didn't, like, I understand we drew Kutea, but a lot of times you don't open Kutea. So a lot of times, how broken this card is, if you kept this in your hand, if you kept this in your hand, now you tribute summon, and now you get Kutea out. So Kutea has access, Pendulum performed by Sorcerer equals Kutea. Like, do you have any idea how unbelievable that is? That's why I wanted to mention this in the combo. So now we're gonna special just a generic level 2 like that. And our next play is we're going to activate the effect of Angalea, tributing itself. And now it's gonna bring out
The Trident.
yes, our Trident, and this is the level 2. So now you have a few options that you could do. You know that you have Verde Anaconda, so you could do this accordingly with what you feel is right and what you're facing. So I know I want to link this off so I can add it back. So this is a level 2. Now you're gonna have to think about your plays a bit. So what I would do is I would synchro these
7
into an 8. This card would be a level 2. Into Draco Berserker the Tenny. Okay, well first let's get the Zephyr Providence to get us our trap. So here we're gonna get Zephyr Divine Strike. And now you just have options. So what we could do is we could go into Verde Anaconda, but the issue with this is we are 1 monster off. So if we go Verde Anaconda, we'd have to get rid of one of our interruptions, which is totally fine. So what we could do here is we could get rid of one of them. So if we got rid of this and this for Verde, you still have 4 negates. So this would get you 4 negates, but it doesn't have access to the pop 2 combo. So you can have 4 interruptions with this, and then this will get you Kutea as a follow-up. So you're gonna have a really good follow-up. Oh, I figured it out. Sorry guys, I figured it out. So this is what you do, okay? Sorry for I just want to show different options as well. So do you remember when we originally popped for the Remicord scale? It was a level 2. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep this in the field and not add with this. I know it's a little slow, but my bad. So Pendulum Sorcerer will only add the Auto Synchron. Again, you're gonna wanna like figure out what you would prefer, if you would prefer more plus. So if you kept this in scale and didn't pop, and then you just had that in the scale, now in this scenario, you're gonna have Kulia and Kutea. So this is the board. If you decided just to add 1 with Pen Sorcerer, which is this card. So in that scenario, if you just added 1, which is why I wanna show as well the different options you have. If you decided 1, now you can activate the field spell. The field spell can add you Drumea, and Drumea's effect you didn't activate yet. You control the Pendulum Scale, which is this card, a Remicord Scale. So now you can special summon this card. And now this card gives you the access for Verde. And I know you might be thinking like, yo, Trip, but you have no card to discard off Dragoon. Well, that's wrong, because now your opponent turn comes, and you're gonna have 1 interruption, 2 interruption, 3 interruption. But what you're gonna do, right after they activate 1 card, you're gonna use this card to bring out Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron is gonna draw you 1 card from your deck. And now that Formula Synchron gives you the discard with Dragoon. Doesn't matter what it is, you're just gonna discard it. And so what's Kutea? Well, it really doesn't matter, because this card's gonna add a follow-up anyways. So now you're gonna have complete scales, you're gonna have field spell, you're gonna have 1 negate, 2 negate, 3 negate, 4 negate, and now Formula Synchron effect will get rid of these 2 to bring 6 interruptions, because Satellite Warrior pops 2. So Satellite Warrior is the 1 card we didn't have that's legal at the moment. So Satellite Warrior says how many synchros you have in your graveyard, pops that many. So you pop 2 cards. So you'll have 2 pops, you'll have 3 pops and 3 negates.
Insane.
So 6 interruptions with a deck that people think is bad, but it's really not.
All right, Steven, thank you so much for the deck profile. Anything else you want to say before we end on this video?
I would just like to say that Pen best deck, and subscribe to Sam and subscribe to Trip.
All right, guys. We're Sam with Trip signing out. All right, guys. Peace.
Here comes Honest! Appear! Elemental Hero, Honest Neo! Be sure to get your playmat today at tsx1.com.